Alrighty. Diamond Zerg versus Terran. The Zerg says he cannot beat Terrans when they play standard. However, I'm sure there's multiple flaws we can figure out and help this individual get over his hump with Terran. Okay. First little weird thing. Why are we 16 hatching versus Terran? 16 hatch in ZvZ, yes. 16 hatch in ZvP, yes. Always 17 hatch versus Terran. Why? It's a little bit more economical, and there's absolutely no way that the Terran can really punish you for it. So always 17 hatch versus Terran. Okay, why? Okay, what? So in the okay, so mid game, late game doesn't fucking matter. You can have an idle drone, it really won't kill your economy, but in the first 5 minutes, every drone matters big time, especially because we are Zerg. We need to have a stronger economy. Our units they favor quantity over quality. They die fast. Look how many times this drone is bouncing back and forth. It's not mining. It's not doing anything relevant. And we went pool before gas. So versus Terran, your new build opener is going to be 17 hatch, 17 gas, 17 pool. Moving on. What is our opponent doing on his side of the map? Okay, so he's completely skipped Reaper. He's going right for a reactor. So that's good news for us. We don't have to deal with a Reaper. We can take a free third. Oh, I'm sorry. You can take a free third. We don't have to worry about it. Why is our link speed so late? Okay, what happened here? Like, we took our gas? Did we not put 3 in immediately? Okay, I mean, that's fine, but I guess your pool is a little bit more delayed than I thought it was, to be honest. And yeah, this is the reason why we go gas first before pool. Our lane speed normally should be starting at 2 minutes 10 seconds. Yours is starting at 2 minutes 20. Now, is it the biggest deal in the long run for a macro game? Probably not. But for like aggression, cheeses, all ins, it's a big fucking deal. That 10 seconds matters. Okay, so we get a decent scout. I don't like that we're gonna. Hopefully, we can save this. I don't like that we're sacking the Overlord this early. I typically want to see Zerg players sack the OB like somewhere between the 3 minute 3:30 mark, just because that's when you're actually going to see the tech you need to see. At 2 minutes 30, you're rarely going to see exactly what you need to see. Okay, so like the third was a bit early, but holy shit, when did we take our third? I'm sorry, I was distracted there. Holy shit, we took our third hella early. So our normal third timing is like 3 minutes. I mean, you can definitely take it that early. Did we pull out of gas at least? Yes, we did. Okay, so that makes sense. Sorry, I've analyzed a lot of replays lately, and I'm trying to keep myself in the diamond mindset. Like, why are we doing whatever the fuck we're doing is basically it. Okay, so Baneling Nest, I mean, it's a bit early. If I was looking at this and I had confidence that, you know, this was like a Grandmaster game or something like that, 100% I would say, without a doubt, this is going to be a Bane bust with how early that Baneling Nest is. Now, I understand it's for safety for you, but this is, yeah, it's very early. Do we need Banelings versus Hellions? Oh, do they work? Sure, yeah. What do we really need? Queens and Lings. Versus Terran, if you're going to play a macro style, see how only this hatch is just about to finish a queen? This one isn't. This one isn't. Don't stop making queens. I want to see 1 queen per, like, let's say 1 inject queen per 4 hatcheries. So you'll have 4 inject queens in total. And I want to see you go anywhere from 6 all the way up to 10 creep spreading queens. Why? Because that means we can freely drone for days. Because queens, 6 to 10 queens will hold anything the Terran's going to throw at us in the first 5 minutes of the game if they are in position. Not to mention we can easily just make a round of lings. So we only have 5 queens, and looks like we're not pulling them all. Like, queens, they don't have super glue on their hips. They can absolutely move. Oh god, it's a Hellbat push. Hellbat pushes never work. Like, if you've ever seen GSL, like, they really do have a point. Hellbat pushes never fucking work. The reason being is queens deal with this alone. If this was 2-on-1, queens can still deal with this quite well, but the Marines with stim will deal with the queens a hell of a lot better. These Marines don't have stim, and there's only 6 of them. Therefore, if you had the amount of queens like I was talking about, you wouldn't have to be making these banelings and zerglings. Like, what do we have in production? Okay, we're not even making lings, so I'll give you that. That's good. But we just need more queens. Oh, bad place to morph your banelings, brother. See, and there. Now we're forced into making a huge round of lings when we don't need to. If we just had queens, we could just continue droning this whole time. Something I also want to point out is you have 0 spores. Nowhere. So it doesn't matter what the Terran player is doing. At 4 minutes, you are putting a spore in each base. Doesn't matter what they're doing. 4 minutes, 1 spore per base. Versus Protoss, we're doing it at 3 minutes 30, but that's only because Stargate units can get out faster than Starport units. So we have to sack our 3rd. That really sucks. And this is going to spiral out of control. Oh no, oh my god. Okay, so you can cancel banelings, and lots of times it is worth it to cancel the baneling morph. Point being, these Widow Mines walk up, and where are we looking? We're looking right at it. We see them burrowing. Cancel them! We can just remake them. Oh. Okay, good connects. Good connects. And we even killed one of the Widow. Did we get them both? Yeah, we did get them both. Wow. Okay. So, let's look at the loss. We definitely lost a lot more. Okay? 13 lings, 4 queens, and 7 drones. For the 6 Hellbats and the 6 Marines that he was anticipating on losing anyway. So we're not in a great spot. Not at all. But we are up on workers, and if we look at the income, we're still ahead. We lost our 3rd, so what do we need to do now? Well, let's look at how much money we have in the bank. A lot. We lost a 3rd. This is around the time that we're going to take our 4th, so we need to double expand. Why wouldn't we? Look how much money we're banking. Okay, so another thing I want to point out. This is your point of view. Other than that initial dive in, you haven't scouted your opponent at all. So the most crucial times to scout, if nothing else, the bare minimum is going to be the 3 to 3 minute 30 mark so that we can see what they're doing. Is this 2-1-1? Is this 1-1-1? Is this, double factory? Is this fast 3cc? That will give us our initial preliminary information that we need to play the game. The second really important scout is around the 5 minute mark, because that's going to tell us, hey, is this a 2-base all-in? Is this mech? Is this bio? Is this mass battle cruiser? Is there something dumb? Is this normal? We haven't done that. We can't even confirm that this is mech or bio. We don't know. And based off of what we saw, it could truly go either way. A Hellbat push does not mean mech, and it does not mean bio. We don't know.
Our drones are under attack.
So we're completely playing blind, yeah. Look at that. Our spore is so late. So late. We also don't have a layer. So the normal timing for a layer in ZvT is right around the 5-minute mark. So how many drones is this Banshee going to pick up? Oh, it's starting to get up there. So we've lost 15 drones. And the Terran is now pulling ahead and is setting up his third. Now his third is very late. But this is diamond, so... who knows? Okay, those Widow Mines. 15 kills, and the Banshee's gonna come back in. See, this is why the layer is really important at the 5-minute mark, because we can get an Overseer, and we can put it in the same control group as our Queens, and that way, you know, we can snipe a Banshee or something. As well as Widow Mines. Oh, this is getting out of control. If he target fired that better, he could have gotten at least 5 or 6 more drones. So we still haven't expanded again. So we are now, finally, we are going to expand. So we took that early third. It wasn't really even a big gamble. It was just early. We lost it. We got punished. Why? Because we didn't have enough queens to hold our early third. We didn't have enough queens to hold anything, really. And then we re-expanded after we, you know, it was a very sloppy hold, but we ended up holding. Then we re-expanded once. We always need to be at least 1 base ahead of our opponent. And when we're on 2.5 base saturation and he's on 2 base full saturation, we are not ahead. So we're already like 2 minutes late now on our 4th base and we're just starting it. Yes, we've lost a lot of drones, but if you think about it this way, the Terran player, his command centers make SCVs. His barracks make Marine, Marauder, Reaper, whatever. His starports make, you know, his factories make... He's got multiple ways of producing units. We do not. Everything we produce comes from the hatchery. So even if we're not droning it, we need to have that hatchery for production purposes. All right. So what does the upgrade situation look like? He got +1. Does he only have a single... He does have 2 bases. That's weird. So we have no upgrades in sight. We're up to 52 drones. Do we not even have a layer started? Oh, we do have a layer finished. Okay, I apologize. So the first thing we want to do when our layer is finished, Baneling speed. When we're playing against Bio, has to be like the very first thing you think of. Oh, layer's done, Baneling speed. This is why Zerg players lose games. This could be in any MMR. You're pulling the trigger. So, I'm going to back this up. He's already got these 2 mines that we should know about, but even in case we forgot, Terran player is moving forward. Now he's pressuring, but our economy is not under threat. Now, do you see how far back that siege tank is? It can't hit our hatchery. It can't hit our queens. It's not really accomplishing much. We should already know about the mines, but even if we did forget, all we have to do is body check the Marines back. And when I say body check, I mean throw our units forward and then pull them back. We don't need to fight. We only want to fight defensively on creep and when our economy is threatened in the early game, especially when we've taken losses like this. Now we're in the mid game, but for all intents and purposes, we don't need to take this fight. What do we need to do? Defend our hatchery. And these mines are going to ruin our day. We don't have Baneling speed. We're coming in from one angle. If nothing else, Zerg players really need to start breaking down these rocks as soon as it's convenient. Like, it's a very important thing. If nothing else, the majority of Zerg micro is coming in from multiple angles and getting us around. If you are only taking engagements like this and you're always coming in from one angle head on, you are a Terran player's best friend, because that's exactly what they want. Marine splitting is difficult. It really is. But you know what makes it a lot easier? When you only have to split in one angle. As soon as you have Banelings coming in behind you from the left, from the right, and forward, and there's nowhere safe to go, everything dies. But when you come in from one angle only, and there's 4 mines and a tank, we don't have any speed, we're going to fight, we're going to pull our units off of creep here, into the slow bubula, The losses are really starting to rack up. And we didn't hold this. Now we can just push forward. Now we're forced to make even more Zerglings when we're still not on a super healthy drone count. Like, he's ahead of us in workers. Mines. Oh. So, there's a really easy way to see if mines are about to shoot or not, if they're available to shoot, sorry. And that involves just taking one ling and running up. If there's a white line that goes to the ling, it's going to shoot. If there's none, it's not going to shoot. It's not armed. When you run at it with all of your lings, it's the same thing in ZvZ as running towards one baneling with all of your lings, rather than one or two to try and snipe it. We just gave him even more lings. We are helping him out in winning this game.
Mineral field depleted.
So, I want to show you this. This is your point of view, okay? We currently have two drones in production, okay? How much larva do we have? 7. This queen has almost full energy, but there is an inject queued. Inject queued. Inject queued. No queen. Do we only have 3 queens? We only have 3 queens. Okay. So our injects are being made. When we see a Terran player moving out, the last place we want to morph our banelings is in that path, because they're going to get sniped for free. We need to, when we see him moving out, we need to think of a few things. 1, splitting up our units so that when he does come in, like let's say we take a handful of these lings, put them up here. Sorry, I got these notifications. It's preventing. There we go. Now I can scroll up. So we take a handful of these lings and we put them up here. Take a handful of these lings if these rocks were broken. We put them up here. And then we take an even, more lings that we have, and we put them on a separate control group and we park them like right here. And then when he comes into attack, these lings come down, these lings come down, these lings come in from the front. We get a full surround, and these lings over here, doesn't even matter what they accomplish. They just auto attack. You're diverting his attention so that he can't focus purely on the one attack, and you should get a few SCV kills. Counterattacking is huge in ZvT. Lings are unbelievably overpowered. They're so cheap, they're so fast, and they're amazing at picking off workers. Abuse it. Don't let the Terran player be in complete control of the game. Like, we have such a minimal creep spread, we're banking so much money, we're so far down in supply. We see that, and then we morph the banelings right in his face. We have no idea what's coming towards us. We've got no lings scouting on the map. We've got no overlords, nothing in position. He made it all the way here without us noticing. And then right at the edge of this creep, we went, shit. We're not in control of this game at all. And it's about to be GG. He's still, okay, he's got his 2-1 going. We still have no upgrades, no baneling speed, no 1-1. We're going into 10 minutes, 30 seconds. We've got no follow-up tech. This is GG. We did not, so what did we do wrong? We didn't spend our money very well. We didn't re-expand. We didn't make enough queens to hold the initial harassment. We're only coming in from one angle. We have no map vision. We're playing a single player. I have a feeling that a majority of your wins come from players who also play like you and just ignore the map. They do their own thing, and if they're left alone long enough, they can move across the map and win. I have a feeling you lose a lot of these games against Terran specifically because Terran wants to be in control of the game, because you don't respond that well to being controlled like this. And if we had enough queens in the early game and we had to shut that Hellbat push down, which we absolutely should have, then we would have been fine. This would have been a totally different game. We would have been the ones in control of the game. But we weren't. We lost our third for free. We lost a lot of drones, no spores. So let's move on to the second replay, shall we? Okay, so this replay looks like you're both 300 and you're exactly 3,333 MMR. That's kind of impressive. We need 16 hatch again. Why? Okay, we already explained this. Don't 16 hatch versus 10. Full gas. We don't do that. But that's okay. We know that. Okay, Marine first. Oh, no, never mind. Ignore what I just said. I'm going too fast. Oh. So what did this Reaper kill? Oh, he did get a drone. Oh, that sucks. So the safest way to deal with Reaper early on, every time a drone gets low, just morph it into something. Morph it into a spine crawler, spore crawler, evo chamber, gas guys, or whatever, and we can just cancel it when the Reaper's gone. All we're doing is dancing. This is just a dance. We shouldn't lose anything. The Queens are able to prevent the Reaper from getting super close to the drone line, but we don't have Ling speed yet, so we can't deal with the Reaper with our Ling, so all we can do is prevent it from harassing our drones, but it's going to be able to scout for free until we get Ling speed done. We don't even have Ling speed started, and it's 2 minutes 50 seconds. Typically, Ling speed starts at 2 minutes 10, so it's done. It should be finishing up here soon. There's another drone. Okay. So, meanwhile, our Terran opponents is going for a 1-1-1. Everything looks super standard. Do we know this? No. Third's down at a much more normal timing. We're still, like, we're just so low on our Queens. So one of the biggest reasons we pull off gas in the first place is because, one, we don't need the gas this early on outside of Ling speed. The only exception being if we're getting early Overlord speed, but but the other reason is that since we have a bigger mineral income, we can afford to keep getting Queens. Queens are never a bad unit. There'll never be a time in the game where you're like, damn it, I made too many Queens. It's not gonna happen. So, the normal timing for a Terran harassment, doesn't matter what opening they're going for, the normal time for it to hit you is around the 5-minute mark. So that's something to keep in the back of your head. You know, you can safely drone right up to like the 4-minute 30 mark. And then we really just want to get on the map. We want to see what it is, where it's coming from, and if we need to produce, we don't necessarily need to make a huge round of Lings, but we can save the larva in case we need to. It's just a couple seconds where we're not producing anything. And that's purely for safety. So your injects are good, but you're doing the same thing I see so many Zerg players do. You just, like, Queens are not stuck to hatcheries. They are mobile. On creep, they move decently fast. So we need to break this habit. Got the Pult Viking going out. So that's a big deal, because not just because we lost the Overlord, it's because we sacked it without actually getting any information. Now he's got an armory going down, which means these Hellions are likely to be Hellbats. If this was a tech lab and he had an armory, I would say he's going for fast cloaked Widow Mines. But yeah, no, this is going to be Hellbat push again. Hellbat pushes are garbage. They're not good. Why? Because pure queen shuts it down. How many queens do we have? 7. Okay, we got a better queen number now. We're still floating a lot of money and we're supply blocked. If we did just pop some OVs. That queen's gonna be gone for free. Hey, that was a pretty good connect. Transfuse, deadly. So we're targeting the Hellbats with our queens. The queens are always targeting the Hellbats because our lings can clean up the Marines. Our ling speed is finally finishing here. That's good. We got this around. We cleaned this up. Not to say we didn't take losses. We definitely took some losses. But we cleaned it up. And that was a lot better than last game. That's why Hellbat pushes suck. Point blank. Still don't have spores. 1 spore per base at 4 minutes. And this is why. Because it doesn't matter if they're going called Banshees, Battle Cruisers, Liberators, whatever, even a medevac. It will help. And if nothing else, it's also always detection. Widowmine drops are becoming very, very popular versus Zerg. They're not just a TVP thing anymore. Okay, so we're finally starting a single Evo. I hate that. Never, ever, ever in a macro setting, single Evo in TVP or TVZ. Zerg versus Zerg is a different, all mirrors are a little bit different, but Carapace is infinitely important in TVZ because we need to have our units survive long enough to get the connects, like especially the Banelings. Now, while +1 melee absolutely helps the Banelings do the damage, this is the final patch of the game. Like nothing's going to change. And the final patch nerfed Banelings' health. So Carapace is even more important now. Because if we don't have Carapace, the Marines will be able to freely snipe them before they ever get a connect. So in a normal game, we're going to get our layer around the 5-minute mark. First thing we're doing is getting Baneling speed versus bio. Then, right around the 5-minute 30 mark, 5:30, wherever, we can throw down 2 Evos. And by the 6-minute mark, I want to see 1-1 started. Okay, we do get double Evos. Deadly. And look, you got Baneling speed first. This all looks fantastic, man. Look at your creep spread. Look how far out on the map it is. We're up to 75 drones. Let's get an inject going. Inject. No inject. No inject. Like, we're looking so much more solid in this game. What I don't like is we went a little bit too willy-nilly with the droning. Like, yeah, 84 is fucking solid, dude. Way to go. What do we have to defend that 84 drones? We've got 20 lings and 6 hydras. Like, at a certain point, we need to always kind of take a second and realize where we're at in the game. The first time I really pause droning is around the 5-minute mark because I know, hey, the harassment's going to come. The second time I kind of pause droning is right around the 60 to 66, maybe even push it to 70 drone mark. And I make a few units because we're going to need to have something to hold these drones. Yes, we do want to go up to 84. Like, that's a solid number. No, we don't want to rush right to 84 before we really make any sort of army, though, because we're just going to lose them. Oh, bad Baneling connects. Bad. This just went from bad to worse. We're going to lose that base. Okay, so we each have 1-1. Let's get our 2-2 going. Let's re-expand. We have the money. We don't want to have any major gaps in our upgrades. Because our opponent, even though he seems to have forgotten his armor, did he queue them both up? No, he just literally forgot about it. But you can always expect your opponent to play solid. Even if they don't, if you always expect them to play solid, you're always expecting the worst, right? We just had a big gap in our upgrades, so he's going to have a pretty big window of opportunity. At least we started Carapace. He's missing out on armor. Okay, so we did see that, but it was a bit later. Doom drop in the main. We're going to lose the pool. We're probably going to lose his... Okay, that's one of the biggest things. So, as our units pop, or if they're all out of position, whatever, we can't just trickle them all in. We need to group them up so that we can actually get in there and take a fight. If we just keep sending all of our lings in, they're going to run in one by one, and they're just going to die for free. Do you think any of these lings are going to damage any of these Marines? No. Not a point of damage. Banelings are dead. That was a surprisingly good connect. But look, we've done the Terran a favor by putting our macro hatches like this. We've created a choke point for them. Like, this is essentially like a wall that we've made in our own base saying, no. You're playing tanks, I'll help you. I mean, the game's not over. Oh my god. The value he has gotten out of this. Oh my god. Okay, the game's looking over. Is he actually producing stuff at home too? He is. Oh, this game's over. I'm sorry, man. So, pure Hydralisk beats nothing from Terran. Nothing. It's not worth it. When we go Hydraling Bane, the normal transition is Lurkers. So we can do Ling Bane Hydra Lurker. And then from there, we'll go into our Hive at the 10-minute mark, and then we're going to get Vipers. We're just making pure Hydralisk, and we don't even have Hydra upgrades. Like, we don't have any ranged upgrades. These Hydras are never... They're just not as good as Ling Bane would be in this situation.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
Again, surprisingly good connects, but this is too little too late.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
Here's the thing. We need to counterattack desperately. We've got the drone count. Like, everything's looking fine. We've had no injects queued this entire time, so our larva is incredibly limited. By missing the injects, it's as if we killed off, 5 of his barracks, and he only has 3 left. He can only make X amount of Marines now. Well, we didn't inject, so we're only getting max 3 per larva, max 3 larvae per hatchery. So we're not in a position where we can even pump out an army big enough to get to his side of the map in time to actually counterattack. So what's our best bet? We just need to send some lings. We just need to counterattack, like just ling run-bys. But we need to reestablish ourselves back at home. We need to get some injects going. We need to get our macro cycle back up and running. We took so much damage there. We're still just making Hydralisks. I hate it. Hydraling Bane is fine. It's a great composition. But we need to transition into something. We can't just keep playing Hydraling Bane for the rest of the game. Okay.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, this is... Okay, we're gonna catch a medevac. That's always solid. What the fuck is he doing unloading like that? Oh my god! Okay. That was terrible by him. What do I want to see from you before I even look at it? We just got the luckiest trade of our life. We now have a lot of breathing room. Let's not throw the game by going to his side of the map and taking a shitty engagement off creep. Let's just power macro, get ourselves back up and running fully, max out, and then attack. We're still just making hydralisks.
Mutation.
Oh my god, all of our money has gone into hydralisks. How many hydras have we lost? 60. We've got 8 more on the way, and we've got 15. Dude, we made way too many hydralisks. We do at least have adrenal glands. That's always nice. I truly don't know who's going to win this game. I just don't.
Mineral field depleted.
We're still only coming in from one angle. Oh. This is not the fight we want. Oh. Goodbye, banelings. And we're still somehow cleaning this up a little bit. I mean, we're not going to win it, but that Terran player took so many more losses than he needed to.
Drones are under attack.
Okay, we've got the 17-minute lurker den finishing up.
Mineral field depleted. Our fourth net are under attack.
Once again, we're morphing Banes in a very bad spot. Because they're just gonna die. Yep. All of our Banelings connected with Marauders there, which is not what we want. Banelings on the tank, that's not what we want. Good pick, he's got a rally point. We know where it's at, so we can abuse that. All reinforcements, we can just pick them off for free.
Mineral field
We're
depleted.
still making hydralisks. We've got 11 on the map. At this point, we are in the late game. Our anti-air should be Spire. The 11 hydras we have can just be turned into lurkers. Oh my god, we're just massing hydralisks.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, we don't have any lurker upgrades, nor do we have any lurkers on the way.
Mineral field.
We truly lost this game because of our addiction to hydralisks. Yeah, that's it. That's game.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, so when we play Hydraling Bane, I want you to think about it this way. It is Ling Bane with Hydralisk support. You are playing Hydralisk with Ling Bane support. It's the other way around, man. How many Hydras did we lose in this game? 109. So my biggest issue that I'm seeing out of everything is your lack, because this game you obviously made it to the mid game pretty decently. You're just not transitioning. A Terran player doesn't have to. A Terran player can stay on Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Tank till fucking Kingdom Come. They never have to transition. Obviously, they're going to sprinkle in a few Liberators and Ghosts and Mines and stuff like that, but if they wanted to challenge themselves, they could literally play Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Tank every matchup, every second of the game, and they'd never have to transition. We don't have that luxury. We need to get Lurkers, we need to get Banelings, we need to get Vipers, we need to start thinking about tier 3. Are we going to go Ultralisk? Are we going to go Broodlord? Are we just going to stick with Hydra Lurker Viper? We just played Hydralisks. We're 20 minutes in the game, and every single time we had some larvae to make a new army, we just went Hydras! They're not that great of a unit, man. They're just not. And I think that's probably a big reason as to why you're struggling with Terran. Hopefully you learned a little bit from this. I hope it helped. Good luck. Have fun with your ladder sessions, dude.